What's up guys, it's me Within, back again with another deck profile, this time with Fluffals. So Fluffals are a very explosive deck. They really like to go second. It's very easy to win going second. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Let's start off with the Fluffal monsters. So first the 3 ofs, the Fluffals that we run in 3s, so 3 Fluffal dogs. He's the main one. He gets, when he's normal or special summoned from your hand, you get to add 1 Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. Then we have 3 Fluffal penguins. So when he's used for a fusion, you get to draw 2 cards, but then you have to discard 1 card. Only 2 wings. I tried using 3 before, but I feel like 2 is you only ever resolve the combo with Toy Vendor only twice usually. Most of the time it's only 1 per game usually. So 2 wings. Now for the 1-ofs for Fluffals is 1 owl. He's normal summon. You get to add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. 1 Fluffal bear. When he's discarded, you can add 1 Toy Vendor from your deck to your hand. I mean, not to your hand. You just add it straight from your deck onto the field. 1 Fluffal cat. When he's used for a fusion, you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard and add it back to your hand. Very good for doing saber-tooth combos. Now for the edge imp monsters. So we have only 1 sabers. I figured only using 1. You only really need 1. You never really have to worry about them. Even if they banish it, it doesn't hurt the deck that bad. Then we have 3 edge imp chains. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Frightfur spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Okay, and then now for the non-Fluffal, for the other monsters that aren't related for the archetype. So we got 3 King of the Swamps. Discard to add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand, and you can also substitute the other material. 2 Kumungus, the Earth Kaiju. So the reason we use this one is because Fluffals have a lot of their fusions. They do destruction and then they target. So then with Kumungus, you can get rid of those monsters that usually give you trouble. And then since it's Earth, we use Mrs. Radiant in the extra deck. So if you use Mrs. Radiant, when it goes to graveyard, you can actually add your Kumungus back from your graveyard to your hand. So it's pretty cool. And last monster, 1 Gem Knight Guardian, since we use Brilliant Fusion. Okay, that's it for the monsters. Now to go into the spells. So we have 3 Toy Vendors. The main thing about this card is when it's sent to graveyard, you can add 1 Fluffal monster or 1 Edge of Sabers from your deck to your hand. So that's the most important part. It has a discarding effect too, but I'll go into it. There's some combos that you can do with it too. And 3 Foolish Burial Goods. Be able to send your Toy Vendor, just free searches, to be able to search all your Fluffal monsters. Just send Toy Vendor to graveyard. 3 Polymerizations to get your fusion plays off. 2 Fusion Recoveries. You get to add 1 material that you used for a fusion plus a polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. Really extends plays. Now for the 2 targets that you get to search from Edge Imp Chain. So 1 is Frightfur Factory. This is really good because if you search out Frightfur Factory, it's like a searchable polymerization if you have no way to search to start your fusion plays going. And then the other one is Frightfur Fusion. So this one is for fusing monsters from your graveyard. You banish them in order to special summon 1 Frightfur monster. Then we have 3 instant fusions. I saw people cutting it down ever since links started becoming a thing because it affects, because it uses up your extra monster zone. But I'll go into it once we get into the extra monsters, into the extra deck. And I still think this card is really good in this deck, so that's why I like using 3. And last card is 3 Brilliant Fusions to be able to get your Seraphonite out, and then it also sends your Fluffal Wings to graveyard, so that you can start doing your Fluffal Wing combo with your vendor, so that you get that draw 2 plus a search, which is really good. Okay, so that's it for the main deck. Now we're going to go into the extra deck. So let's start off with the monsters that you special summon off Instant Fusion. So we have Thousand Eyes Restrict to be able to take monsters that are problematic. Fright for Sheep. This one gets over monsters. Like, when it attacks you, your opponent can't activate anything, and then if it gets destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it back again from your graveyard, which is really cool because if it was in your extra monster zone, you special summon it back to your main monster zones. But also, since you can just special summon a Fright Fur monster, you can use it for fusion and you make Sabertooth, which lets you bring it back for free. So that's a good combo that you can use instant fusion with. And then the last one is Millenniumize Restrict. So the reason I think Millenniumize is really good in this deck, one of the main reasons why I decided to use 3 instant fusions is because usually when going first, if you open up with Foolish Burial Goods and like Fluffal Dog and let's say like Toy Vendor, so that you can start doing your combos, your Toy Vendor Wings combo and stuff, it can't get interrupted by Ash Blossom if you also draw a instant fusion, because before you start doing all your searching, you actually use instant fusion to bring out your Millenniumize Restrict, and it can stop any Ash Blossoms from ruining all your searches. And then once you get the Toy Vendor play off, you can just send it away to make like an Underclock Taker, just so you can go for your actual plays. Just for setup. That's why I think it's really good. So those are the 3 instant fusion targets. Then we have, now to go into the Fright Fur monsters. 1 Daredevil. He's just for 3000 beater. Also, when your opponent's life points are really low, you can actually put him on field and they have to deal with it, because when he gets sent to graveyard, he actually does some burn damage. So 1 of him. 2 Tigers. When you special summon, depending on how many materials you used, you get to destroy that many number of cards on the field. So, and he also gives all the Fright Fur monsters you control a boost, an attack boost too. 2 Fright Fur Krakens. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, send it to graveyard, and then this card can also do. But if you use that effect, you can't make a direct attack with this monster. But normally it can attack twice, and then during the end of your battle phase, you switch it to defense position. So, one way to get around the first clause, the one that it can't attack directly, is that you use its effect and then use it for fusion, and to make Sabertooth. And Sabertooth can bring back Kraken so that you don't have to worry about not being able to attack directly. But yeah, Sabertooth is probably the main one to go for OTKs. What he does is when he's special summoned, you get to special summon 1 Fright Fur monster from your graveyard. And since it's from graveyard, that means that you can just put it on your main monster zone. So that's one way that Fluffals get around the whole... they don't really need link monsters in order to make a huge fusion field. But yeah, to make Fright Fur Sabertooth, you need 1 Fright Fur monster plus either 1 Fluffal or 1 Edge Imp monster. And then we have the Gem Knight Seraphonite, just for our Brilliant Fusion to be able to send that Fluffal Wings to graveyard. Also, the extra normal summon is pretty cool, because sometimes if you go like Seraphonite, you have Dog, and then Dog searches out the Owl, then you get the extra normal summon, and you can normal summon Owl, and then search out Polymerization if you didn't already have it. And now for the Link monsters. So we have Underclock Taker. Most important thing that he does is that when you use Instant Fusion for something like Thousand Eyes or Millennium Eyes, then you can get rid of them so they're not clogging up your extra monster zone, and you make Underclock Taker. And that we also have Mrs. Radiant. You can make this card easily. A cool combo is like you just summon any of your Earths, so like Dog, Bear, who else? Owl. They're all Earths. So you use one of those Fluffals plus Seraphonite, which is also Earth, and you can just make Mrs. Radiant. And then last one, this is a tech choice. I like using Decode Talker, just because sometimes it comes up where like you have like a bunch of Sabertooths plus probably like a Kraken, and then you want to use like Fright Fur Fusion or open up for like different fusion plays. But you're all clogged up, so you can use some of them to make a Decode Talker. Another option, that's the 15 card extra deck. But if you don't like Decode Talker, you can also play a Akashic Magician. I think is also a pretty cool card to to use as a. There's a 3-card combo that you can use a Caution Magician with. So it's a Brilliant Fusion, Fluffal Dog, and a Kaiju. Where's Humongous? So with this, you can you use your Brilliant Fusion. Use your Brilliant Fusion to special summon your Seraphinite, sending both Garnet and Fluffal Wings to graveyard. Then normal summon your Fluffal Dog. Search for anything, depends on what your hand is. Then if they have a problematic monster on board, just tribute it for your Kaiju. And then put it directly above your extra monster zone. And then you'll send both of these, since they're the same type, both Seraphinite and Fluffal Dog are fairy monsters. And then you can make a Caution Magician, and then target your Kaiju, and then you get to add your Kaiju back to hand. Yeah, that's an interesting play, but I mean, like, at the same time, you can also go Seraphinite and Fluffal Dog can make a Mrs. Radiant, and then, assuming most likely you can make a fusion play, and then get over and kill the Kaiju, and then if Kaiju's in the graveyard, then Mrs. Radiant can add your Kaiju back to hand. Or it's more versatile, because depending on the situation, you get to add one Earth monster from your graveyard to your hand. But yeah, so that's it for the main deck and extra deck. So now I can go into a few combos for the deck. So alright, so now I'm gonna go into some combos so that you guys know if you're giving this deck a try and you're not very familiar with Fluffals. So first up, we're gonna do, you only need 2 search cards. So like, let's say you have these 2. So Fluffal Dog, you can use it to search either or. So you want to search out either Wings, and then if you use Foolish Burial Goods, you get the second search, and you want Bear. So the end goal is that you want to get these 2 in hand, because these 2 work very well with one another. So you use effect of Bear, send it to graveyard, set 1 Toy Vendor directly from your deck to the field, then activate your Toy Vendor, so flip it over. Then you use the effect of Toy Vendor, discard your Fluffal Wings. You get to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Fluffal monster, you get to special summon it, or you get the option if you want to special summon or not. If not, you add it to your hand. If it's not a Fluffal monster, then it gets sent directly to the graveyard. But the main thing that you just did is that you have Fluffal Wings plus any Fluffal monster in graveyard, plus having Toy Vendor on field. That means that you can use Fluffal Wings effect to banish it, along with another Fluffal monster, to draw 2 cards, destroy your Toy Vendor, and get you can get another search to get your combos going. So I think that's the most important main deck combo that you need to know. If you know that, then you'll be able to see like what's the easiest way to be able to get the combo off. One Fluffal monster in graveyard, Fluffal Wings, and Toy Vendor on field. And now another thing is also that we do play Gem Knight Garnet. So we use the Brilliant Fusion engine, right? So usually players don't like, there's a lot of people who don't like using the engine because if you draw the Garnet, it's dead in hand. But in this deck, there's actually a way to play around it, that if you actually draw into the Garnet, and you want to get your Brilliant Fusion to work, you want to get your Brilliant Fusion live. So with this deck, actually Edge and Sabers is capable of making your Brilliant Fusion live again. So all you gotta do is figure out a way how to send your Sabers to graveyard. So the effect of Sabers is if it's in your graveyard, you can send the top card, you can put 1 card from your hand back to the top of your deck in order to special summon it from graveyard. So you can actually stack the Gem Knight Garnet back into the deck, special summon the Edgem Sabers, and then now your Brilliant Fusion works again since your Gem Knight Garnet is back inside your deck. That's another combo. So another combo with Brilliant Fusion. So Brilliant Fusion also has another effect that after you special summon the monster, you can actually discard 1 spell card. The monster special summoned by this card effect gains its original attack and defense again. So one of the best things that you can do with this is if you have a Toy Vendor in your hand, you have Toy Vendor in hand and you use your Brilliant Fusion. What you can do is you can actually use the effect of Brilliant Fusion to discard the Toy Vendor to make your Seraphinite its original attack and defense. But the main thing is that you send Toy Vendor to graveyard. So that means you get the search for Toy Vendor. Same thing also applies for toy vendors, because you can discard one card in order to get its effect, where you reveal the top card of deck. What you can actually do is use its effect to discard a second copy of Toy Vendor. So if you have double Toy Vendor in hand, you can activate one Toy Vendor, use the effect, ditch the other Toy Vendor to get another search. So it's pretty good. Toy Vendor is a very good card. And let's see, now we'll go into, oh yeah, another thing to note, Frightful Factory, it's you banish one polymerization spell card or one fusion spell from your graveyard in order to basically get the same effect as polymerization. So, things that you should note is also using your instant fusion. That's one ammo for this card. It has fusion in its name, so you can banish instant fusion in order to get polymerization effect. That's another reason why I like using triple instant fusion. And then also your brilliant fusions that go to graveyard also can be used for Frightful Factory. Now to go into the main fusion combo for this deck. So, you know how I was saying Fright versus Sabretooth is the main one, because this is how the combo works. Usually you want to go either Kraken or Tiger first. Either one of these two. So, whichever you choose to special summon, let's use Tiger as the example. So I special summon Tiger. He's in my extra monster zone. So I'll use his effect, I'll destroy cards up to the ones that I use for material. Now, up next, to get the OTK going, I'm gonna start fusing, using fusion cards. So I'm gonna fuse Tiger, plus something else, another Fluffal or Edge Imp monster. Special summon a Sabretooth. Use the effect of Sabretooth, target the Tiger we just used, special summon him to a main monster zone. Then, what we can do, use fusion again, but this time we're going to fuse Sabretooth, because he's a Frightful monster, plus one Fluffal or Edge Imp monster. So send him to graveyard, and special summon a second Sabretooth. Use the effect of this Sabretooth to special summon the first one we special summoned back to your monster zone. So now you get to see where this is going. You can loop this up to 3 times. So do it again, special summon another Sabretooth, special summon your Sabretooth. It's fairly easy. It's incredibly easy if you use a fusion recovery, or if you have Fluffal Cat. That's its main function, is just to get this loop going easily. But yeah, that's one thing that you get knowing that you don't exactly need a Link monster in order to do these explosive fusion plays, which is really cool. But yeah, that's it for the Fluffal deck profile, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll probably do the same thing that I did for my Ghost Trick deck and upload a few replays of me playing this deck. But yeah, go ahead and give it a try, and let me know what you think in the comments. See you guys.